drugstore makeup that's just as good, if not better, than luxury makeup. I'm a professional makeup artist, and a lot of these products I use in my freelance makeup kit, some of them go on the skin just like my luxury makeup. So let's get in it. I haven't posted a long form video in a while, so I'm excited to get back in it. Some of the best drugstore primers, the e.l.f. one I actually use in my makeup kit. I do love the Milk Hydragrid, but I mean, $10, you can't beat it. These two are great for smoothing. I also like the original e.l.f. putty that comes in the little container. I finally got the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and don't get me wrong, I do like it, but these literally remind me so much of the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and they're a fraction of the cost. The NYX Marshmallow Primer is a little bit more hydrating, and then I found that the e.l.f. Liquid Putty is a little bit more matte. I prepped my skin pretty intense today, so I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Liquid Putty. You're gonna see it literally just smooths out the skin so nice. I love using a product like this even with no makeup, just to kind of help blur and diffuse the skin and the pores on the skin. One thing you gotta realize with makeup, especially now that the drugstore has like advanced so much in like their technology and ingredients, a lot of products have literally the same exact ingredients. They're just wrapped up in different packaging. Because it has a different brand's name on it, they'll jack up the price. Do not be fooled by marketing. As somebody who has literally used a lot of these products on multiple skin types, I can tell you the products that I'm like, they're literally the same thing. Oh wait, before I get into foundation, these bronzing drops, I've tried so many from the drugstore, but these are some of my favorites. They're the Revolution bronzing drops. I'm not sure what shade this is. What I like about this one is that it's like not too liquidy, a little thicker than a regular bronzing drop. I also really love the Versed ones, but like you can see, it's not dripping down my face. It's kind of moussey. And for a product that's so sheer, that you literally just want to use to warm up your skin all over to mix with foundation, you don't need to spend $60 on it. I'm sorry. Alright, I have a couple of options for base products. These are more like glowy summer base options. These are the ones I have so far. This Revolution Skin Silk, absolutely stunning. Glowy finish, beautiful coverage. The finish reminds me a lot of my Armani Beauty Luminous Silk, except I get a little bit more coverage. And then these are also great options. Diamond Blur Perfector by Physicians Formula. It's less coverage, I would say, than the Skin Silk. Glowy finish, lightweight on the skin, just like an easy product that you can either rub in with your fingers or use a brush to apply. CoverGirl, it's like a tinted serum. Holy moly, this product is beautiful, especially if you don't want anything to feel heavy on your skin. It's like a lightweight serum-like consistency. It looks disgusting, but once you warm it up with your hands and just kind of rub it on the skin, it gives the perfect veil of coverage, and it like blurs the skin. It feels like you have nothing on. I wouldn't typically put this on before the foundation I'm going to put, but I just wanted to quickly show you that. But today I want to go in with the Revolution Skin Silk. Look at this coverage. Are you joking? It gives like a glass-like skin finish. It does have a scent to it. It smells really good, but if you're very sensitive to fragrance, you may want to steer clear of this one. I'm not going to lie, I don't have a favorite drugstore brow pencil. I do like this one, but you got to be careful working with it, and it's the Ardell Brow Glue. This stuff locks your brows in place. However, you cannot apply too much of it or it will leave like little white flakes. And you also got to work quickly because it literally glues your brows, and if you glue them in the wrong direction, like they're stuck like that. I'll quickly graze this through my brows, like kind of back comb with it. And then this has been my favorite drugstore brow pencil, CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow Pencil, and I'll take the spoolie, quickly run the product through the brow. And I do like this brow product. It's just that I do love my ABH Brow Freeze Gel more than this product. This is like one of the products where I'm like, okay, I'd rather use my bougie brand. But this one definitely gets the job done. You just gotta work quick with it and know how to work with it. Alright, I have two cream bronzers that are the most stunning cream bronzers like just ever. Even compared to high-end cream bronzers, these are some of the best. I have the Milani Cheek Kiss. This one's in the shade Spilling Tea. I actually use one of the more neutral shades in my freelance makeup kit. And then also the Physicians Formula Diamond Blur Mineral Wear Bronzer. Both are gorgeous. I honestly don't know which one I want to wear today, so I think I'm going to do a little both. Like here we have the Diamond Blur. It's just gorgeous. The Milani one has a little bit more of like a powder-like finish. They don't go on patchy at all, which is my issue with even high-end cream bronzers. Like some of the most popular ones that people love, I can't stand because I feel like they just don't sit on top of makeup nice. I'm gonna do the Milani one on one side, and then I'll do Physicians Formula on the other. So right now I'm working the Milani one. See how pigmented that is? Also, shout out to my friend that got me this makeup mirror that lights up. It's from Amazon. So good and great for travel. And then also these BK Beauty. This isn't drugstore, But one thing I don't do is I don't skimp on my tools unless it's like a really good affordable tool. I have no problem spending money on tools only because they last such a long time. With that being said, these BK Beauty brushes, they're worth the hype. They're so good. The shapes that they have, I want to get more for my makeup kit. All right, now we're gonna work Physicians Formula on this side, and you're gonna also see how it just melts in. Like, I'm telling you, there's some products where I'm like, they really are just that good. Not even just good for drugstore, but just good for makeup in general. Take the slanted side and just use that to warm up my nose. I'm honestly not going to be precise with it. I'm just going to clean it up with my concealer after. And taking my beauty sponge and tapping over everything to pick up any excess product. So I have Milani and Physicians Formula for this category. The Milani Cheek Kiss blushes. This one's in the shade Coral Crush. It's such a beautiful coral color, nice and bright for summer. And then the Physicians Formula Diamond Blur liquid blushes. I think actually I'll layer these on both sides. That way I don't have two different blush colors. Milani one's also very pigmented. A little goes a long way. I just work my brush in that. And now I'm stamping it starting up here. See how pigmented that is? But it goes on really smooth. I love the e.l.f. putty blushes, but a lot of people didn't like it because they are like more of a thick cream. This one's more of like a melt into your cheek kind of cream. See how gorgeous that is? I always take what's left on my eyelids because I literally don't bother with eyeshadow anymore. Now I just want to add a little of the Diamond Blur just so you can see what it looks like. This one's in this really pretty pinky shade. It's in the shade Peach Brilliant, but it's definitely more of like a natural rosy color with a hint of warmth to it, but nothing crazy. Also guys, I have 4 weeks left in my Invisalign. Like, what? Once I finish my Invisalign, I plan on doing an entire Invisalign just journey video and update video. Also, what's really exciting is I had the privilege of working with Invisalign on TikTok and Instagram. So surreal, because I had already started my Invisalign journey pretty much a year ago. I paid for everything like out of pocket with my own money, and they reached out to me in February saying that they wanted to work with me. It's just so crazy to me. There's a few categories where I'm like, I will splurge almost every time. They both have to do with the under eyes. Under eye setting powder and under eye concealer. Also foundations, but I've also found some of my favorite foundations from the drugstore that I end up grabbing for were they my bougie foundations. But normally the under eye I'm very picky with. However, this one reminds me so much of the concealer that I'm currently loving at the moment, and it is more affordable, and that is the Revolution Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer. It is so creamy and so full coverage. It reminds me a lot of my Tower 28 concealer because I love that one for that reason. Now, it still hasn't replaced my Tower 28 one, but I do really like it. And then some days I do just use this over my Tower 28 just because. I'm just gonna dot a little under my eye. Also, this stuff is crazy full coverage, which I wasn't expecting when I first tried it out, but you're gonna see it brightens. And this one's in the shade Medium Yellow. Whatever's left, I like to wrap underneath of the blush to just sculpt. Do you see that? And this is not sponsored by Revolution at all, but I have discovered so many other products, honestly due to PR. That's one of the perks of brand sending stuff, because not gonna lie, I probably would have never gone out of my way to try all of this stuff from them, but now that I have, I'm so happy because now I have more affordable options to recommend. It's like $30 on a concealer, $60 on a foundation, $50 on a blush. Like, that's, it's just not realistic. So I like giving affordable options. I always go back and forth between like the previous products. Like right now I'm taking whatever's left on my blush bronzer brush to blend out the edges of the concealer. Setting spray, I love to set in between steps. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have like a ride or die. They're all really good from the drugstore because there's only so much water and alcohol. Like, there's only so much you can mix in with a setting spray. Like, it's literally mostly water and alcohol. And then of course some of them have like glycerin and oils and stuff. But the one that I really like is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I also really love the Revolution Superfix Super Hold misting spray. I mean, together I don't know which one like holds better. They both have held my makeup fine. e.l.f. also makes some good ones. And then as far as like hydrating setting sprays go, I really like the Maybelline Glass Fix setting spray. However, a little of that goes a long way. You don't want to use too much of it or it will like really melt the makeup. And I also really like the Joa Beauty hydrating setting spray. Anyways, all that to say, right now I'm going to use the Milani Make It Last. This I use in my freelance makeup kit as well. And I also used to use this one in my kit. While my face is still damp, I'm gonna go in with a setting powder. Some of my favorite drugstore setting powders of all time that I've talked about before is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Love that, especially for like normal combo skin to oily skin. I also really like the number 7 pressed powders, both of them. I like the Joa Beauty loose powder, that's a great one. The Kokie loose powder. I've talked about those a bunch on my channel already, and today I want to talk about one that I discovered that is beautiful. And again, it's Physicians Formula. So this is the Physicians Formula Diamond Blur powder. This is great if your skin's more like on the drier side. It blurs and like smooths the skin. I kind of love the packaging of it. It is very translucent. I wish they had like more shades, but if they don't have more shades, I feel like this wouldn't work on a deep complexion because it would leave a white cast. But if that's the case, then I would also suggest trying the Maybelline Fit Me loose powders as well as like the Fit Me pressed powders. Press this on the sides of my nose first. It just really blurs and smooths the skin. See, like it'll smooth out that little blemish. I kind of do a thick layer at first, but then I quickly press the rest in with the sponge. That way it doesn't look too heavy. And then whatever's left, I kind of like drag down to set everything else. Set it again, that way it's not too powdery. So I've talked about this on a YouTube short if you watch any of those, but this Revolution Baked Bronzer is such a close dupe for the Hourglass Ambient Bronzer, but it is very, 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 very close. There's just like a hair of a difference in like the finish, but like, I don't know if I'm the only one that sees it just because I'm a makeup artist or if other people can see it too. Again, I use cheap products with bougie tools. I'm going to go in with my Hourglass bronzing brush. I love this brush because it's so multi-purpose. I use it for bronzer, contour, blush. Press it on. Also just love the, see like the really subtle glow that it leaves? I normally like to do my bronzer and all that before I use the loose powder. Honestly, I don't have any new drugstore blushes to recommend to you. Not because there aren't any, but because I haven't tried any new like drugstore powder blushes that I love. But I will talk about ones I've talked about before in case you haven't watched any of my previous content. But the Kokie gradient blushes, specifically the shade Sweetheart, is one of my favorites. These are so pigmented, very matte, and the color selection that they have is incredible. These are hands down some of the best blushes. And then I also love the Sephora blushes. These are $14. During the Sephora sales, you can get them for like $8. And then they also randomly have the Sephora collection on sale all the time. So if you can get your hands on these at a good price, get them. And even $14 for a blush that's this good is more reasonable than spending like $30, $40. Anyways, so I'm gonna do the Sephora blush on this side just so you can see. And the shade Flirted Up. I just take the other side of that Hourglass brush. I start at the high point of the cheekbone and then work it in with a smile. Kokie on this side. Work it across the nose, chin, forehead. Adding more of that Physicians Formula powder to clean up under the blush and bronzer. And then I blend it out by buffing it up into the blush so that everything is nice and seamless again. I almost forgot about liquid highlighter, but these Flower Beauty ones are beautiful. They're very much like the Charlotte Tilbury ones, not an identical dupe. They're a little bit more pigmented. The Charlotte Tilburys I find like give you truly like a filter finish. Even though they're very expensive, they do give a beautiful finish. But if you want a similar look for a fraction of the cost, get this, because $38 on a tube this size is crazy. I believe this one retails for no more than like $14. In the shade Gleam, work some on the back of my hand, then into a sponge, and tap that on the high point of my cheek. And then these are some of my favorite powder highlighters because they're not too intense. Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This reminds me a lot of my Hourglass Ambient powder highlighters if you want like a really soft, melted in the skin sheen that's not too chunky or glittery. And then this one also is like that, but it's a little bit more intense. I'm not gonna put these on my skin just because I don't want too intense of a highlight, but that's the Revolution one. You can see how it melts in, but it is very high shine. The Essence one is a little bit more subtle. And like, that's a gorgeous sheen. I do kind of want to put that on my cheek. And using that in my inner corner. The Essence Brighten Up Under Eye Setting Powder. Beautiful when you finish your makeup if you just want to brighten up your like this area of the under eye just a tiny bit more. Great finishing powder and powder to touch up with. Like, watch. And it's only like $3. It's crazy. See that? Alright, I'm gonna do lips and then mascara just because that's what I feel like doing. NYX Line Loud lip pencils are still some of my favorites because they're very long wearing. The color selection that they have is beautiful and they're creamy. These remind me a lot of the Hourglass lip pencils that I am obsessed with, except these are like $6. I also really love the Maybelline Total Temptation retractable lip pencils. Those are beautiful too. But today I'm going to use the shade Total Baller by NYX. It's just a great brown that goes with everything. There's a lot of drugstore lipsticks that I love, but lately I have been loving these Revlon Color Stay Limitless Matte lipsticks. Specifically the shade Poster Child. It reminds me so much of my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick, just in a liquid, long wearing form. And this is such a comfortable liquid lipstick. It's not like your typical liquid lipsticks. Like my go-to just like comfort lip color that just goes with any look. The applicator is also really nice. These Catrice Gloss and Glow lip oils are some of my favorite lip oils ever, mainly because it also leaves a stain on the lip. So I love using these with just a lip pencil. It gives you the most high shine gloss like finish, but then once that gloss fades, it's gonna leave like a pinky reddish stain to the lip. It's so pretty, perfect for summer. And if you like a more opaque gloss, these Revlon Butter, the tinted lip conditioners, so comfortable on the lip. The pigmentation is beautiful on it. This one's in the shade, I have no idea what shade this is, but I will try to find it and link it below. It's like the perfect warm color. I'm gonna apply the Catrice lip oil just because I haven't used this in a while. My camera's probably gonna die. I'll replace it in BRB to do my mascara, or maybe I'll do my mascara and I'll just show you what I end up using for mascara. See how pretty that is? I'm telling you, this lip oil is perfection. Oh, I'm also gonna quickly add this bronzy Revlon eyeliner. These are so creamy. They're the Revlon Color Stay liners, and they come with a brush on the other side to blend it out. This one's in the shade Queen of Hearts. I added my mascara. Look at my lashes. This drugstore mascara replaced all of my bougie ones once I applied it the Carly Bybel way. L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I started using this back in like 2011. I think when I first started watching makeup on YouTube, Carly Bybel would use this. I got it. I loved it all throughout high school. And then it kind of just fell flat for me within the last few years. But when I retried her applying mascara in front of a fan hack, it changed everything, because it like separates and holds the curl. You get way more volume. My lipstick's getting everywhere. I feel like I need to blow out some of this. Also, when I went upstairs to replace my battery, my skin was feeling tight, so I added some of my Maybelline Glass Skin Spray, and it brought the glow back. This setting spray is amazing, but a little goes a long way. If you put too much, it'll start looking greasy pretty quick. I also added some of the bronzer into my crease and then more of the highlighter on my lid. Then one more thing, when my camera died, I was talking about this Revlon eyeliner. I put it on. It reminds me so much of my favorite MAC eyeliner in the shade Nudge Nudge Ink Ink, except this one's a fraction of the price, and this is gorgeous on brown eyes. It'd be beautiful on blue or green eyes. Honestly, it would complement so many eye colors. Speaking of products that make the eyes pop, Burgundy Mascara. Try this and thank me later. It'll change your life. I like to apply this on my lower lashes just to give a pop without it being too intense. I also will apply it on my top lashes. I'll layer it on top of black mascara. So pretty. It's so subtle. You're not going to be able to see that it's obviously burgundy, but it gives the perfect amount of pop to the eye, and then it gives drama without being too harsh around the eye. And this is the completed look using my favorite drugstore products that perform just as great, if not better, than luxury products. I mean, you could see for yourself. The skin is skinny. I'll link everything down below in the description box. I will also link as much as I can along the YouTube shopping tab. Consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me, and also let me know what other kind of content that you want to see from me, because I want to create more long form content, but I kid you not. Literally the last like 3 weeks I was racking my brain of like what to film on here long form, like what's actually going to be helpful, what you guys will actually want to see, because I don't want to just put out content just to like take up cluttered space on the internet. Like, I actually want to put out some valuable, useful stuff that's like calming, relaxing, and that doesn't feel like a huge ad, because I feel like I'm constantly like, if I feel exhausted with the amount of information I'm consuming and the amount of ads that are being thrown at me, I can't even imagine how you guys feel. So let me know if you guys feel the way, if it's just me. I'm gonna stop rambling and end the video. I love you guys. I truly do. Have a blessed day.